Sir, could you briefly say a few words about biodiversity and the concept of it?
The world over, this is a new term, biodiversity, which means the sum of all living forms, the total of all living forms like plants, animals, bacteria, everything put together, it is biodiversity. In our scriptures in Vedas, it is said around 84 lakh species in the world, but in India we have recorded something like about 1.3 crore species. Out of that, nearly 95,000 animals and 45,000 plants were registered and recorded. Still a lot of things we have to understand. We do not know the information about the rest of the things. So these are useful for the human beings. We are living on this biodiversity. The livelihoods are given by the biodiversity, like fishes or agriculture, animal husbandry, fisheries, everything we are depending on biodiversity. But very unfortunately, we are not thinking about their conservation. So slowly, a lot of species are becoming extinct. They don't reoccur again. That is the very problem in biodiversity. Once they are lost, we have lost so many species. From 84 lakhs, it has come down to only 13 lakhs now. So we need to again understand the totality of the biodiversity along with the environment. Some people say environment is different and biodiversity is different. But biodiversity and environment both are two eyes of the nature. So two eyes, so biodiversity is one eye and environment is another eye. So without them, we cannot conserve biodiversity. So sensing all this importance of biodiversity, all over the world, they have discussed, and right from 1972 onwards, so the United Nations took initiative in this, and by 1992 they came up with a convention that is called United Nations Convention on Biodiversity. On June 5th, that is on Rio Summit and the Earth Summit, the three conventions were signed. One is the United Nations Convention on Biodiversity, another one is Convention on Climate Change, another third convention was on Desert and Droughts Convention. So every year climate change convention is being discussed. Recently in the Warsaw, this convention, but people are not agreeing for reduction of the carbon emissions. That is the problem in climate change. Whereas in biodiversity, everybody is interested to reduce the effects on biodiversity loss. So 193 countries have signed this agreement, excluding USA. All of them are taking a lot of interest to conserve their own resources. Very unfortunately, the rich biodiversity nations are becoming poor. We were very close to the equator. They are having a lot of biodiversity, but unfortunately they are poor, which means they are not understanding the value of biodiversity. Take the example of Andhra Pradesh. We have a lot of biodiversity which we have not utilized, like for example red sanders, which is a very, very important bioresources of Andhra Pradesh. We have not utilized it. Whereas the China, which is importing it or getting it smuggled through various sources, is reaping a lot of benefits out of that. Another classical example is the Ongole bull, which has gone from Andhra Pradesh, and Brazil is benefiting out of that. Ongole cow is giving nearly 45 liters of milk per day, and beef is sold all over the world, and they are getting a lot of benefits out of that. Whereas Andhra Pradesh, we are not getting anything. We have nearly 6,500 medicinal plants which we are exporting raw material to other countries, but we are not making any pharmaceutical products and selling in the world. We are only satisfied with the raw material. So these are all some cases. I mean, even in agriculture also we have a lot of varieties which are being sold all over the world. The Monsanto has developed BT cotton seeds from Andhra Pradesh, and they are making nearly 30,000 crores. We are not getting benefited. So that is the importance of biodiversity. Sensing this biodiversity, in 2012, October 11, we did a conference that is called Conference of Parties for UNCBD, and that about 12,000 delegates participated from 193 countries. So it was a great success in Andhra Pradesh, and it has given a starting initiative for the biodiversity knowledge. So from there onwards, now we are taking this biodiversity awareness among all the villagers, because this has to go to the villages, because a lot of biodiversity is available in the villages and a lot of beneficiaries are also the villagers. So we want to take to the villages, we want to make what are called biodiversity management committees. So these committees will conserve biodiversity on a sustainable basis for access and benefit sharing. This access and benefit sharing is an important protocol signed by all the 193 countries in 10th COP. In Japan, the Japan COP, they said all the beneficiaries, the bioresources people should get benefited. So it means anybody taking bioresources from India, they should pay to the people at the grassroots level, village level, and then they have to take the consent of those villages. Then only that can be exported to other countries. Now we are working out on all aspects of access and benefit sharing and creating awareness among all the villages. So that is a huge task. It is a challenge for us. Nearly 23,000 villages are there in Andhra Pradesh. So far we have reached only about 500 or 600 villages. We are not satisfied with this. Still we have to go a long way. So we wanted the participation of the villagers. So we are bringing the villagers to our office and creating awareness to them. So this is in short about the biodiversity. But India as a presidency for COP11 till COP12, so 2014 October we are the presidency. Then as an outgoing president also another 2 years we will be there. So India can give a lead to many countries, especially the countries, African nations or underdeveloped countries. They are looking at India because there are a lot of examples which we can give to them. Also the capacity building, especially the African nations, they don't know many things regarding biodiversity. So we have taken up the responsibility, we have accepted to go to those countries, small countries, and then give them awareness on their utilization of the resources. They have a lot of resources, like the African nations, small countries, they have a lot of resources, but they don't know how to use it. It is similar to almost like saying that we are sitting on the gold mine and begging with the golden bowl. So I think that we have to take it very seriously. No more we should sit on this. We should utilize that gold for our development. Development is not only money making. Development is only to conserve nature on a sustainable basis. Any activity, we should think only those terms. On a sustainable basis, utilize the resources of the marine resources or agriculture resources or forest resources, utilize them on a sustainable basis. Then only there is a meaning for the development. Otherwise, it is suicidal to the human being. So this
any patents registered for the product
of Indians, the knowledge of the people from Andhra Pradesh, a lot of patents, especially earlier you are very sure the neem patent and turmeric patent and basmati patent, they were all fought and then we got back all those patents. So similarly, so many patents are there from Andhra Pradesh. So we want to utilize, even for red sanders we want to take a patent or geographical indication. So then
the red sanders are not grown in other countries, sir. It's not.
No, it won't come up there in their country.
In their climate.
They have tried. Naturally, everybody would like to have their own red sanders and get benefit out of that.
Yeah.
But it is not coming up there. It is specific to only Andhra Pradesh, particular region. It is Seshachalam hills. It is coming up very well, and even sandalwood also can be grown in Andhra Pradesh. So we can. That is another product which we can grow and get benefit out of that. So these are the resources. We have a lot of resources. A lot of people are there. A lot of good soils, and then sunshine all over the all through the year. Tropical country, and water resources we have. Above all, we have a lot of people who are interested to work for this. So the awareness is very important. Capacity building is very important. So in that direction now we are working at the grassroots level. So this is in short term.
What are the brief achievements so far in the last 10 years?
Madam, we have created awareness among all the stakeholders. So we told them that these are all very important to you. So now they have got very knowledge on the utilization of these resources and also on a sustainable basis. That is important. And they are interested in the access and benefit sharing. Earlier they were not thinking. They were giving freely. Now they want to take some benefit out of that. So that is very important. So with that they will be developing, and at the same time they will be conserving the resources also. So this is the concept in the biodiversity.
The educated entrepreneurs are also opting for agriculture.
Yeah. Agriculture is remunerative, provided you utilize it properly. Otherwise, agriculture is the surest way to lose money. So that was the thing. Now slowly they are coming up, and then they are utilizing various crops, and then which are required within India first, and then subsequently for exports also, according to WTO principle.
What are the key points you are suggesting for the proactive environment and protection of environment?
Protection of environment and biodiversity put together. First thing is we have to create awareness among all the stakeholders. Without awareness we cannot do anything. Awareness in the sense of grassroots level villages, the school children, and then all concerned, because everybody is depending on biodiversity. So the awareness is very, very important, followed by the conservation principles. So now we have to make a survey where we are losing the resources. Those resources again we have to grow nurseries or raise some multiplication factors, and then we have to make good of this. That is number 2. Then we have to create awareness on the access and benefit sharing. So this will give some money to them. Then their interest, the people will get interested in the money making. So after all, whatever it is, then money makes the interesting part. So that part we are creating, madam. So these 3 are very important.
So in the Indian context, how you think India can play a pivotal role in the...
Definitely India can play a private role, because we are having nearly 8% of the bioresources, biodiversity of the country, total world. We have with a very less area, we have nearly 8% of the biodiversity in the world. And we have a lot of resources which can be used for many countries. So those things we have to understand first. So then we can also create awareness among all the other small nations also. So we can give a lot of lead in making biodiversity useful for the human welfare. That is important, madam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.